All right. Hi, everyone. So I think I'm going to change this music. It's a little. Eh. Um. So let me make sure I am not muted. Cool. I don't know if I like this either. I'm just in a weird mood. So sorry for being a little later than normal. I was talking strategy because I have a big dodgeball tournament next weekend. I like this. It's chill. All right. So because I might move my live to like let me see when my flight is. So we're gonna get started with the community read. Let me just see when my flight is so I can figure out how I can squeeze you guys in so I don't have to skip a week. So I probably fly out fairly early. Huh. Yeah, I might have to figure something out. So, oh no, actually I'm good. Haha, I can't read calendars apparently. So, we're good. um but I pulled this out because I thought that I wouldn't be here for the new moon, but we're just going to use it 2 weeks in a row. It is what it is. I'm going to be doing our community read with the Queen of the Moon Oracle. So I'm going to just get this started. Let's think about the energy we need to prepare for as we um enter the new moon time frame. Let's see, what do we need to focus on as a community? We have acceptance. Oh, I love that. Sorry for the glare, but this card here is acceptance. This is the waning crescent 2. So I think one of the things that we as a community need to remember is just uh, a lot of times when I see acceptance, I feel like it's like accepting the parts of ourselves that we're uncomfortable accepting and just accepting how we fit into the world. It can be a lot of different things, acceptance. So you guys have to let me know what acceptance means to you. Our next card is wisdom. We got this card last time I used this deck for a community read. So I feel like wisdom is like a continuing. Yes, we are in the waning crescent phase. My moon app calls it the balsamic moon. I've never heard of that before. But I always love when the wisdom card pops up. And I mentioned it last time. It's this girl like kind of almost reaching for the stars or reaching for the moon, and she's standing on a stack of books in what looks like a boat floating in the clouds. And I feel like it's sort of metaphoric about learn what you need to and use that to allow yourself to reach for the stars. Reach for your goals, your accomplishments, just understand you have the tools that you need. And then finally, we have purity. This is the snow moon. I think the snow moon, please correct me if I'm wrong, might be the December full moon. I always mix them up, but the snow moon considered a more powerful card in this deck, similar to how like you have the major arcana in tarot. So think of this as like an important part of yourself, and maybe this is like saying accept the parts of yourself that you feel need or you might not feel it are as pure as the other parts of yourself, whatever that might mean to you. So like um as you go through this journey and your and I like how, oh, I forgot to mention this is the waning gibbous, but we're kind of flowing backwards through the moon phases here. But I was saying like learning to accept these parts of ourselves that don't necessarily have to conform to societal standards of what purity is. And also I would say use the wisdom to decide what is it that makes you feel like you are embracing the less toxic side, I would say, of purity. Snow moon is February. Okay. Thank you for confirming. I knew it was either December, January, or February, but one of them is the wolf moon, I think. One of these days I'll remember. But I like this. Purity is such an interesting card when it pops up. It doesn't Purity invokes like a very negative connotation to me. Um I don't know if it's because I'm a woman or what, but I feel like purity is always thrown on us as women in like a negative aspect. So we never get the chance to really embrace the positive aspects of purity, which is just seeing things in its purest light where there's no wrong or right to it. You're just seeing things as they are. So it's like a constant reminder that purity doesn't have to be bad. It's just that society has put bad connotations on it. So how can you embrace, like, how can you tap into that wisdom and how can you accept this concept of purity in a way that doesn't feel like it's burdensome anymore? So, yeah, that is our community read. If you would like more readings to include this, you can use my tip link. Whoops, I apparently can't type anywhere. You can use the tip link that eventually the Streambot will post for you, and they're posted in the description. And I'm going to be doing our readings from the Unfolding Path Tarot. Ooh, so Sil was mentioning that there's a full moon book that's um, coming out about the names of the full moons for each month. So check that out in the chat. All right, let's see who all we have in the queue. So we have up Luke first. So Luke, go ahead, put your question in the chat. Then we have Kay and then Ari. Oh, it came out last year. I'm sorry. I definitely misinterpreted that. You're waiting to get it, but it's already out. Okay, while we wait for Luke, I'm gonna get this deck all shuffled, all warmed up. I don't know what I want to switch to next for our deck because I think I used this a few times in December. Hi LH, long time no see. How have you been, love? Okay, let's see what your guides have to say about Christian. Let's see, 2 more cards. What do your guides have to say about Christian? One more. Oh, how interesting. Okay, so we have the Strength card, we have Judgment, and then we have the Six of Wands. So I feel like this is very representative of you, Luke, for obvious reasons. And I'll just kind of go in order. So oh, I'm sorry. I got distracted. Welcome to the queue, and I am doing well. So happy New Year to you as well, LH. Okay, so Luke, we have Strength, Judgment, and Six of Wands. I will say that this is really interesting because I think that your guides are kind of giving you the green light to go forward with Christian, but at the same time, I feel like it's more about you than it is about Christian. So, there's this element of strength here, right? We have the strength card, but I think this is about tapping into or finding your own inner strength. Who knows what? Oh, I think it's just the periods came in weird places, so Streamlabs was being weird. So just ignore them. But I think that in I think you're I guess how I would interpret this is that your involvement with Christian is going to help you tap into a lot of these things that will bring out these things in you. But I don't see a lot of like necessarily connection or emotion or anything like that. This is more so like how this is impacting you and your inner self, for instance. So with the strength card, I think that in dealing with Christian, You're learning how to tap into your own strength, finding your own confidence to navigate this situation. And basically there's element of there's this element of soft restraint that this strength card has, that a lot of strength card that some strength cards don't, where there's like this really healthy connection between the lion and the person. So it's like saying that it's bringing out this softer side of you, but you're starting to embrace the um you're starting to embrace your own power, I guess is a good way to put it. This is also an action card, so I feel like there's a lot of movement between you guys. That I think, because it's the strength card specifically, that movement is why I kind of said like your guides are giving you like the green light for this person. So here we have judgment. This being in the center of your reading, I think, is really important. I would say that the connection or relationship, or just you dealing with Christian, will really help you understand a lot about yourself. The judgment card really suggests that you're learning to evaluate what it is that is right for you, and start to understand what it is you want and don't want, and it's starting to feel more tangible than perhaps it has in the past. So this is kind of a crossroads card, as well. So I think there's an element your guides are saying that you need to make some decisions going forward. It doesn't necessarily say what those decisions are, so I feel like you probably already know what they are. Um, and just in regards to how you move forward with Christian. But overall, I think they're just saying, like, hey, you're kind of at this point where, you need to decide what you're going to do. Here we have the Six of Wands. This is so traditionally, this Six of Wands is the card of like standing out. It's also a very successful card overall, where it feels like you have made it. You've achieved the things that you wanted to achieve. So if it's something romantic with Christian, you've achieved that. If it's just platonic friendship, that, or like a stronger platonic friendship, you've achieved that. And it's like you guys have made that connection to the point that your guides are like, yeah, this is how Christian might view you in that connection that you guys have. So you said, sounds like that, what you've been feeling since you started talking a month ago. Ooh, good. So that, I think that if that's how you're feeling, your guides are like, hey, you're on track. Keep going, and um keep going down this path. But again, you do have this crossroads. Decide what it is you want to do. So if you've been kind of walking both sides of the field, it's up to you to decide which way you want it to go going forward. But I do love that this card popped up, because I mentioned before, this is like a successful card, but it's a card of achievement, personal empowerment, growth, and that mirrors a lot of what I was mentioning and seeing in the strength card. And so you're seeing all of this growth, all of this inner strength, tapping into your own self of power. And being able to do that, I feel like you'll be more confident in making the decision that your guys are kind of hinting at here with the judgment card. Which I know you've struggled with in the past. So hopefully that gives you more confidence to do so. But overall, I really like this pull. It was really, I will say too, in this, you have the wands here, which is more of that fiery, like passionate, burning energy. You kind of have a lot of that um, similar energy here with the sun. So you kind of have fire. Um, and then I think this might be fire as well. So there's a lot of like fire energy that's going on. I know Sil will double check, fact check me. Um, there's a lot of fire going on here. So I will say, as a warning, Perhaps this is just me kind of throwing that in, not necessarily direct from your guides. Be careful not to just do things haphazardly, right? Like, don't be too impulsive about things. Don't feel blinded by the confidence. Continue to think things through. No, I was just double checking. So I think this is fire, right? I know this is fire, and I know wands are fire, obviously. I just can't remember judgment, but I think it's fire. Um, so yeah, still has a whole like spread of fire, which is very interesting, as my Taurus brethren. But yeah, I think that this is a cool like green light from your guides. Keep on keeping on with Christian Luke. Just be confident, self empowerment, all that jazz. Hey Kay, sorry you've been feeling. Oh, your moon is Leo. Ha ha ha. Um, sorry Kay that you've been feeling so out of the loop, or out of sorts rather. All right, Kay. Go ahead, put your question in the chat, and then we will have Ari and LH. Okay. Yeah, yeah, got it right. Judgment is fire. That's right. So your moon is Leo, a lot of fire. Very interesting. Interesting pull. You're welcome, Luke. Let's see if I can. Oh, I can't edit the. I know. Kay was just here. All right, let's call Kay. Oh, you have like the whole spectrum. Jeez. All right. If Kay comes back, she can rejoin the queue. Ari, you are up next. Oh, they did? Oh, they just. Oh, I see. I'm sorry. My bad. I misinterpreted that as, I don't know, general conversation. I just. So, yeah. Okay. Sorry about that, Kay. You just want to know what's going on. Okay, let's find out what's going on. Sorry you've been out of sorts, though. All right, and last one. So we have the Three of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles. I wonder if you've been feeling a little out of sorts because maybe you've been putting your time and energy into the wrong things. So I won't necessarily say that anything spiritually is going on, but I guess it depends what you determine to be spiritually. But I would say that perhaps you aren't filling the right cups, so to speak. So we have the Three of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. You have a lot of earth energy here, and I wonder that I wonder if you will Ari, just post your question when I ask for it. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Don't send it early. So I think with the Ace of Pentacles here in the center of this reading, I think that you're missing a lot of the groundedness. So I don't know if you know how to ground and center, or if you do that regularly, or maybe you need to switch up that process. I think that's probably what's going on here. So the Ace of Pentacles, This is where you are probably just not setting the right foot forward here. And this is a lack of stability. I think that this feels more reverse, is what's going on. Feel like there's a lack of stability here. Things just, and because of that, things just don't have enough time to actually root and grow. And that's probably where everything is stemming from. So, on one side here, we have the Three of Cups. Because you don't have that good foundation that we were talking about, right? I think that I think that it makes it hard to connect with the people around you. So this is the Three Cups. This is usually like the card of celebrating with friends, enjoying that companionship. Um there's just that emotional connection between you and a group of people. And without having that strong foundation, it's hard to keep those connections healthy. A lot of times this will like result in just sort of isolation unintentionally, or perhaps seeking out the wrong connections, and then things just fall apart. So if you don't have a good sense of self here with this, stable card, this lack of stability rather, then the friendships can't build on anything worthwhile, right? Hopefully that makes sense. And then on the other side here, on the flip side, we have the Seven of Pentacles. This is like the Seven of Pentacles is suggesting that you're just trying to persevere through it, but you're not necessarily putting the right focus and energy into the right things. So, um, the Seven of Pentacles is like the card of like, well, if I just have faith, I know things will get better, but you're not actually putting any action. So there are no real like action cards that are happening. And I think that's one of the things that's missing, right? You need to take steps to help find that groundedness. For some people, it can be as simple as like literally just taking 30 minutes in the beginning of the day to meditate. For other people, it might require something more extensive, like going out and earthing a little, where you kind of like go out barefoot, touch the earth, some grass, and just feel like you're um, internalizing or balancing that energy between you and the earth, that kind of thing. It depends what it is that you feel like you need. I just wanted to give examples. So it doesn't have to be either of those things. Um, but I will say that with the Seven of Pentacles, I think that if you do put in some work to switch this around, start to focus on balancing, centering yourself, starting to get that strong foundation, this Seven of Pentacles makes it feel like you can definitely overcome this, but it's gonna definitely require action on your part. I don't think that it requires anything like crazy. Like I wouldn't say like you're not like hexed or cursed. It's just a imbalance thing that's happening. Um I don't think it's abnormal for this time of year. If you're in the northern hemisphere, winter can really throw people out of sorts because it gets darker, your circadian rhythm is thrown off, vacations, family, just there's a lot of chaos around this time of year. Also, a lot of spending around this time of year that you normally wouldn't do. So, I would say that don't feel like it's the end of the world. So, yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. I don't think it's anything horrible or nefarious. I just think that it's a little bit of needing a regrounding. Do some earthing. Hi, Netties. Netties. Hi, Infinity. Welcome. Yeah, just use exclamation point join to enter the queue. All right. Ari, you are up next. Go ahead, put your question in the chat. And yeah, Luke has a very interesting combo of stuff. We're both Tauruses, but he has that Leo moon, Libra rising, and I'm Pisces. All right. So Ari is up next, followed by Ari. We have LH on deck and Nadis in the hole. Following them, I have Infinity. So welcome to the queue. I hope you guys had a good holiday. Oh my god, I did not say Happy New Year, guys. Hopefully you did your manifestations, your vision boards, whatever it is that you guys do, set your resolutions. Um and I hope you guys had a good holiday. Mine was super fun. I'm bummed that I have to go back to work next week, but I'm happy because I have more vacation planned. All right. What are you guys doing for the weekend? Let me know. Do you have anything fun planned? I think I'm gonna veg out for a bit. What do you mean what mall you're going to? Do you mean like to just go to the mall? Or do you mean to work? Like, is your job transferring you? Can you expand on that? Oh, for your birthday? Is this a surprise? Do you have no control over what mall you go? Just go to one of the malls, girl. You wanna waste your reading on this question? I'll do it, but, um, I would just say look at the stores you wanna go to. Let me shuffle the deck real quick. Get a nice good shuffle going. King of Prussia isn't I mean, I would never drive 5 hours to go to King of Prussia. I grew up 45 minutes from King of Prussia and still never went to King of Prussia. I don't know what direction you're in, but I would go to Christiana before I would go to King of Prussia. Just out of personal preference. I've never heard of Destiny though. King of Prussia's just I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Let's see what Tarot may disagree. Oh, Christiana is oof, sorry. Christiana is further south. I used to. Grew up in Philly. Okay, so this will be actually I'm sorry. I got distracted. I did not. So, this card will be for whether to go to King of Prussia or not. This card will be for uh Destiny. I mean, it's 2023. Is any mall amazing? I mean, it's not like it's the Mall of America. It's not like there's roller coasters in it. And then this is the card to see whether it matters or not. That's really funny. So we have the Ace of Cups for King of Prussia. We have the Empress for Mall of Destiny, and then we have Four of Cups for whether it matters either or. And it's a little funny because the either or is basically saying, "Oh, it is 2024 now." My God. Um, Either or is just saying like either way, you're gonna be spending money there. It's gonna be a day of spending, and you know it's going to be boiled down to whether one you think you'll be wasting more resources to do, like I know you mentioned King of Prussia is further versus the other one. Maybe it has higher price stores, kind of weigh the options. But I think that if I were to choose, I would probably say maybe King of Prussia, based off of the cards. We have this ace, and it just looks so like fun and like exciting, and you might discover something new when you go there. Um, the King of Prussia Mall is kind of in Dutch country as well. So maybe this is like saying, oh, you might find something interesting that you love in the area that you weren't really sure of. Um, like restaurants or stuff like that in the mall, even. Whereas the Empress, I don't think either option is bad, honestly. I'm just going to explain what I see in the cards and you can decide for yourself. But I can give my opinion based on that after, um, if you'd like. The Empress, on the other hand, we do have a major arcana. So I think that maybe it would be a more impactful long term thing for you to go to the mall, Destiny Mall, I think you said. Um, I think though that the Empress card is really like, so one of the things about the Empress card, which is why I tend to lean more to the Ace of Cups, is that um this card is the like mothering card. So if you're doing this for your friends and not for yourself on your birthday, right? Like it sounds like you want to go to King of Prussia. And it sounds um like your mom's been there, you've known people that have gone there, you say that you've heard good really awesome things and you want to do it, but it sounds like you just need an excuse to do it. Whereas this one sounds more like you're putting your friends before yourself for your birthday. That being said, either or, I don't think that anything inherently is wrong with either decision. I think it's just boiling down to, are you putting yourself first or are you just being like the friend mom and making things good for everyone, when really, like, if you can't be selfish on your birthday, when can you be, like, yeah, I mean, if I would say that I'm extrapolating between the cards and what you said in chat, that it sounds like whether you're conscious of it or not, it sounds like you're leaning more to King of Prussia. Because you even respond, I don't know if you realize, but you responded not defensively, but you were very shocked to hear me say that I didn't care for King of Prussia. And then you went on to explain like, um, some really good things that you've been hearing and how your mom went and stuff like that. So I think that subconsciously you should just go to King of Prussia. It's a longer drive, maybe make a whole day of it and enjoy the things around there. I don't know how often you've gotten to hang out in King of Prussia, but like I mentioned, it's near Dutch country. The Dutch created Auntie Anne's, so you can get some really awesome food out there. Just enjoy the day out in that area. It doesn't have to be just about the mall. Um, just know either or you're spending money. Which is really like, so it's basically saying six in one hand, half a dozen in the other, which is really like a question like this kind of leads to that answer. But I would say at the core of it, are you deciding on one over the other because you're trying to appease your friends instead of going with what it is you actually want to do? It's your birthday. Be selfish. I'm selfish for the whole month of May. I mean, when I had a milestone birthday, I was obnoxious all year long. So be selfish. Go where you want to go, which sounds like King of Prussia. All right, LH, you are up next. Then I have Nettis Hacks. Nettis Hacks. Infinity. You are up after that. You're welcome, Ari. So I'm gonna read this from the perspective of the situation between you and C. I'm not going to read from the perspective of like what C is thinking about this situation, just to give a heads up. It was a little silly, but I think it's a fun challenge for me, Ari. I think that it's actually applicable in other aspects of tarot. And I mean, I do tarot RPGs too, so I'm cool with sometimes a little. Oh, look, our first s- repeat of the night. But yeah, I'm good with. Sometimes I'm good with what is a little bit on the silly side. But again, I'm just here to read. Try not to judge. Um, we have the Ace of Cups making a reappearance, and then we have the Two of Wands. I like how we have one and two, and then we have the Six of Pentacles. Um, I think there's more understanding than is being let on. So one sec. So I'm just trying to process this for a second. I think that this is more more reversed energy. There's I feel like a a willful ignorance that's going on. And by willful ignorance, I mean people understand what you're telling them, but they don't want to accept what you're telling them, which I think is the difference what's going on here. So the Ace of Wands, or Ace of Cups rather, sorry. The Ace of Cups is so aces are new beginnings, but in cups this could be a signifier of like an awakening where, and usually when that happens you start to understand what's really happening, right? um Now, just because you understand it doesn't mean that you accept it or that you like what you're hearing and that you're going to follow through. It could just mean you understand, but you might still have a wall up. So I think that's what's happening in the Two of Wands, and that's kind of why I reversed it. The Two of Wands is really closed off. Upright, it gives very much like looking at the world kind of vibes, like planning and wanting to travel, or see the world, just understand everything around you. But in reverse, none of that is happening. It's very closed off. How things are is how things are. There's a very stuck energy that's here with this Two of Wands. So while you might understand what the situation is, you're stuck where you are. Um, the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles, I think that you're trying to share a lot of this with someone who does not want to receive that energy. And I think that I know you're questioning it. So I feel like you asked me a question that you actually know the answer to. So I'm sorry if it feels like I'm giving you something you already know, because I think that that is literally the root of what I'm seeing. So I think that while you might not feel like you're getting through to this person, you are. It's just you can't make people accept what you're telling them. So if they want to willfully be ignorant of something, or purposefully not accept something that's happening around them, you literally can't force them. So you could tell this person until you're blue in the face, like the sky is blue, but if they just decide that it's green, you can't convince them otherwise. So I would say that for you, I feel like this 6 of pentacles is very much your energy and this is their energy, and it feels like more like this, where you are like trying desperately to connect with them, but they just don't want to. And unfortunately, like stuff like that sucks, but it's good to know, and I know you were saying this is just confirmation. So, just confirmation that you don't need to put that time and energy into someone or anything that is not reciprocating that time and energy. People like that need to come around at their own pace, and a lot of times, so it could be it depends what's going on, like ultimately, right? But I know I'm a little stubborn, so if people tell me things too much, I just won't do them out of principle. So, not when they're important, but like important things I'll do. But like, if you tell me something, tell me to do something that I was already gonna do, I will purposefully do it later. So sometimes you have to just stop telling someone something and let them come to it at their own time. And if you're anything like me, I know that's frustrating. But yeah, I think you are better suited to put your time and energy into bigger and better things that serve you. All right, Nettie's hacks, you are up next. So good luck with that, LH. I know it's tough. Oh, that's good. A lot of people won't do that. It's so hard to do to cut people off, honestly. I mean, it depends how close you are. For me, it's like it's easy for me to be like to 90% of the world, you're dead to me. You're welcome. And just so you know, my name is spelled this way. I get that a lot at work, so I get it. Yeah, no problem. I mean, when it's only said out loud, you have like 3 chances to get it right mostly. So I get it. All right, Nettie Sack, go ahead and put your question in the chat. I assume they're typing, so I'll be patient. All right. So after Nettie, we have Infinity. So thank you guys for being so patient. I know that it can take a while for me to get through some of the readings, but I appreciate the patience. Sorry, can you post it again, Nettie? I didn't see your question. So if we're not seeing it, sometimes it just doesn't go through for whatever reason. YouTube has been very weird, guys. Like, experienced that on my own live streams, and then I've seen it on other people's live streams where the streamer will not see some questions that pop up in the chat, and the chatters also don't see it, but the person who posted it sees their comment. So it's not like it's being like automated by like a bot or anything. It just literally doesn't send anywhere. It's so strange. Yeah, I don't get it. But also, YouTube is strange too because I know there's like that weird glitch where people will randomly find that they're unsubscribed from people that they've been subscribed to for a while. I think that's rarer, but not unheard of, if that makes sense. And yeah, that one's strange. Netties, if you're having issues, you can always come back in. I can go on to the next person and you can come back in and try again. Um Infinity, why don't you go ahead, put your question in the chat. I don't do how people feel about other people if they're not here to give consent for readings. So if you want to rephrase that to something like mm, what was the overall impact of you leaving the group, I can do that. But I won't do how G feels about it. Just let me know if you're cool with that. I'm gonna close the queue, but Netties, if you're still here before I finish up, I will still take you. I'm gonna go ahead, Infinity, just so I can wrap it up for the night. I'm a little hungry. Your impact on leaving the group. Oh, I love the star card. So beautiful. Ah, our second repeat card of the night. We've only gotten two. That's so crazy. We have the Page of Wands, we have the Star card, and then we have the Two of Wands again. So I'll just go in order. So for I would say that overall, like I guess if I don't think that it had a negative impact, but I think people overall, like I think in general, it sparked curiosity, like you know, or curiosity might be the wrong word, but it sparked discussion about leaving, like maybe speculation might be a better word for it, where people are kind of talking about it, maybe gossiping a little, mixed with a little curiosity. But uh Infinity, let me know that you're still here. Or Netties. Actually, I think Infinity retracted their question, so I'm not gonna read on it. Um, which means I have cleared the queue for the night. Um, thank you guys for watching, but I'll be back next week. Honestly, if I'm not the reader for you, that is fine. Just want to make sure I set my boundaries, and I'm totally okay if you're not okay with it. But I will see you guys next week. I will be here. I thought I wasn't, but my flight's not till Friday. So we'll have another Lunar Live. We won't have to skip a week. It was a really good decision on my part to switch from Fridays to Thursdays because I have fewer travel days and like events on Thursday versus Friday. So I uh I will be here. Also, let me see what on the 21st, Sil and I are going to do our recap of 2023. We're going to pick our top 3 tarot decks and our top 3 oracle decks um for 2023. So we did this last year, but I was on a low buy, so we couldn't do our top 5 and then our top 5. So I'm very excited to see what we pick and what really fun things we came into our our collection. And if you had fun stuff that you brought into your collection over the year, please join us so that way you can share in the chat. We can kind of talk about that as well. And just, share like some fun recaps and reflections from 2023. And Sil posted it in the chat. So go ahead, check that out. Put on your notification bells. I will remind you guys next week as well. So if you're not subscribed to Sil, make sure you subscribe to A Life Full of Simplicity. So that way, if you don't get notified from my channel for whatever reason, you have a backup to get notified on your channel. And I will, yeah, I'll be able to, hopefully you'll be able to join us on the 21st. So we will be live the 21st of January at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I will see you guys on the flip side. Thank you for joining.